Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, if everyone wouldn't mind coming back to your seats, that'd be great. We're in the last leg of this conference. The last leg of this conference is where we're opening up the stage to allow for any questions that the audience has for any of the panelists. That is either for the last panel, which was the men's panel, which I was featured on. If anyone has any questions about either AI or women's empowerment or technology, feel free to either raise your hand or come to the stage and share your question. Does anyone have any questions on the last panel? Please go ahead, come up. That's fine.
Thank you. Okay, so my name is Eniola Ekubi. So the question is for you, sir. You talked about mentoring. So how do we get girls to come on the mentoring program, especially seeing as you are here in New York? So we're talking about children, people in Nigeria, for instance. How do they get onto the mentoring? You have mentioned that they were in the group at the beginning. You're talking about what you like, the people person and stuff like that. So how do they get onto it? Basically, then could you please say again the name of the media? Is it Rsquare Media Incorporated? Is that right? All right. Thank you.
Eniola asked a question about the global mentorship program, but also about mentorship broadly, because as we're trying to help or enable women's empowerment as well as deal with food security, poverty alleviation, etc., there is a significant mindset component to this. And as the great Kofi Annan said, knowledge is the solution, and it's about getting access to this knowledge wherein lies the pathway. The specific question was, how do students in Nigeria, Ghana, other African nations benefit from this mentorship program? Well, it's actually very simple, because the reason why this mentorship program is so popular is because it is 100% remote. Yes, you could literally be working in your PJs, or that's what we say here in America, PJs or pajamas. You could be working in your PJs and not have to deal with any travel, and still accurately and honestly say that you were working with a New York City award-winning public relations agency, which Rsquare Media is. So the short answer is, it's a remote mentorship program. Anyone can participate in the mentorship program by simply applying. The process of application is very simple. You simply jump on my Calendly link. They will be meeting with me personally. I think that talent and human resources is something that's so critical that it's not something that anyone can do. Me, as the leader and the CEO of the company, I take personal responsibility in the advancement of women empowerment as well as the people that we bring on board. That's why I personally meet with every single applicant that we receive. And I have had various conversations with various applications lately from Uganda, from Ethiopia, from Nigeria, from Liberia, from South Africa, and various other African nations, many of whom are our current team members as well, and they're all doing amazing work. So the process is so simple. They literally jump on my Calendly link, select a time of their choosing. The calendar invite contains the Zoom information. They click on the link, they can access Zoom from their phone, or a desktop or any device. And the interview process also is extremely simple, because like I said, our number one goal is stress-free. So stress-free means I don't want to be stressed, but more importantly, I don't want to stress you as the interviewer. And it often is as simple as a friendly chat two friends may have at their favorite coffee shop. The conversation is 15-20 minutes, it's not long, and there's an instant decision as to whether they've been selected or not. There's no suspense, nail-biting suspense about if they've made it, not made it, selected, not selected. I tell them on the spot. And the next steps are very simple. They just need to email my manager, Kat Walker, and tell her when they want to start. So how simple is that? They decide when they want to start, and accessing the program is something that they can do remotely. And the entire program actually has been remote since 2016, which is why when the pandemic happened, it didn't really change our business operations, since we were already remote at that point in time. So I hope I answered the question, and I'd like to see, thank you. I'd like to open it up for anyone else. If anyone else has any question either on AI, please, the woman in red, please. What's your name?
Okay, thank you. My name is Mercy Anino Ishwe. I have a question for you. We talked about connecting. We have the public Wi-Fi's and so. Connecting to the public Wi-Fi, I've heard of cases where people stolen identity. So we're often advised not to connect to just any Wi-Fi. So what do you have to say on that? How do we protect us? Information from getting stolen using the public Wi-Fi? Thank you.
That's a great question. By the way, I'm a Messi fan, as in Messi the football player. So just say, love the name though. So that's a beautiful question. Yes, it is a concern to protect your identity, and while I'm not an expert on cybersecurity, there are certain apps that you can download on your phone, like Bitwarden, that protect and safeguard your identity and anonymize your online activity, such that even if you're accessing the Wi-Fi at MTA or Dunkin' or Starbucks, because that device, that security protection is on your phone already, and it's free. Most of the plans are free, and they might charge you a little bit if you want the VPN as well. But even without the VPN, it'll still protect your identity. It'll anonymize your IP as well as your activity and there are a few steps like that you can take and protect your online activity, such that nobody can, as they say, scrape the information from your device or from the cache on your hardware. I hope I answered your question. We have a question from the gentleman sitting over here.
One thing I actually just wanted to add is, like, there are a lot of different VPNs. One I like to use is McAfee. I have that on my computer and my laptop that has a VPN included. It encrypts your data on all public Wi-Fi's. I think also one thing of a question in terms of the potential of AI to help alleviating poverty and homelessness in the US and across the world is there are many fears that many have about AI kind of overtaking jobs in the workforce. What would be your response to that, and how do you think that AI in general can help with finding a job, even if you don't have as much experience as many companies do require a certain amount of experience when you're entering the job market? So also, my name is Nicholas Bronzanini. I'm an innovation lab producer. I actually have been working with Rajiv and Rsquare Media for about a year and a half now. a communications marketing professional, and have coincidentally used several of the AI that Rajiv mentioned, such as ChatGPT or even Lumen 5.
Thank you for that question, Nick. The question again was, is AI going to take our jobs? Well, the good news is that AI is producing jobs. And think of it this way, AI is a machine. It's like a car. So is our cars taking the jobs away from cows? Maybe. But the car still needs somebody to drive it as of now, right? So we as the humans that are controlling the AI need to know how to use it so that, because that's the new category of jobs. We have these things called prompt engineers. Prompt engineers essentially are people that type out small words, small sentences that tell ChatGPT exactly what to do. Because if you ask ChatGPT the wrong thing, it'll produce garbage. And if you ask it the right thing, it'll produce awesome content that will seem extremely compelling and valuable. So a job that didn't exist previously was the prompt engineer job, and it's literally somebody that can think as to what information or instruction the machine needs to produce the kind of output or result you're looking for. So I think Nick, I hope I answered your question, but I think this is something that Maya mentioned as well, and I think Maya is an expert on AI. So Maya, do you want to add to that?
Thank you so much, Rajiv. Thank you so much, Nick, for the question. So I totally agree with what Rajiv has said. So there are, if I remember correctly, they do believe globally AI can actually not only create jobs, but actually adding the economic value up to $30 trillion. So that's more than the annual GDP of the United States. So that's a lot of value creation there. And on the more personal, like individual level, so I do believe it makes people more productive. So you can actually spend, everybody, including me, myself, there are part of the job that's repetitive, and I would love for someone to take it, for AI to do it for me, so that I can focus more on the work that actually more creative, that's more, as a human being, I enjoy it more, right? So that's one. And also I believe earlier today, a lady asked a question about AI, and they have the artificial intelligence, but do they actually have emotional intelligence? So I also want to take the question to answer that. At least for the current models we're seeing, AI do not really have the emotional intelligence. But to be fair, they are usually programmed to use words that show empathy, show compassion. So for example, if you are in a dire situation, you lost a pet or something, and the AI actually will say, oh, it might be very upset, I really understand this. So they are programmed to use that language to make us human beings feel better, but at least currently, they cannot understand, for example, they don't understand jokes, they don't understand sarcasm. They will consider that as yes. So I do not believe AI will replace human beings like one day. I don't think, because it is not like a human being. We are so much more. And to be frankly with you, I think there are so many things we don't even understand about ourselves. So how can a tool that we develop like a car can be as intelligent, right? So thank you so much for the question. Thanks, Rajiv, for the opportunity.
Yeah, and just to add to what first of all, Maya, thank you for that. Just to add to what Maya said, so AI is rapidly evolving. Just the other day I was using Bing Copilot, the name has changed a few times, and I was asking it a question, and one of my friends earlier, the kind of language or the direction that he gave for ChatGPT was do this, don't do this, do that. And when he used that instruction, the AI actually felt bad. It actually said, it actually got upset by saying, I don't want to do that anymore. So I think even though I don't know if Bing AI has emotion inside of it or it's mimicking emotion, but I think, to go to what Maya said, it is building off of various databases and language models based on which to allow for that functionality and that ability, such that in the future they actually will mimic human emotion. And in fact, one of my friends was telling me that there's a new technology out there where they can send out an AI to make phone calls and appointment setting, where you will not realize that it's an AI. It will even laugh at your jokes, and it'll even hear you eating something and say, "Oh, did I catch my lunch? Should I call back?" I was zapped when I heard that. So that is the advancement of one company that's already out there as far as that ability. But the point still is that as far as what I've shared, there's a $90 billion opportunity in the content creation space. That AI is sitting out there. It needs users to tell it what to do. And that's the biggest opportunity out there. So, Nick, to answer your question, yes. Will it take jobs? No, I think it's actually creating jobs. It's creating jobs on a scale that we've never seen before. Does anyone have any other questions, either on AI or on women empowerment or coaching or mentoring or any of these topics that you've heard today, either in this panel or the panel prior to this? Going once? Going twice? Okay, so I think we've exhausted the questions from the room. I'm going to hand back to Dr. Goji. Dr. Goji, would you like to bring the event to a close?
I'd like to thank Rajiv very much. A really great partner, great friend. He keeps the flow going. And